I'm Quinn Russell, an architectural journalist based in Dubai, and this is part of my 10-day in Japan series. If you're just joining, welcome. This is my final stretch. I've just wrapped up 3 days in Kyoto, and now I'm heading to Tokyo by Shinkansen. Kyoto Station itself is this massive modern transport hub, which you can see in my previous vlog. Part of it is a shopping mall, part cathedral of movement. There's something poetic about boarding a bullet train from such a dramatic urban space and slipping quietly into the countryside. Look at these lush hillsides, layers of green unfolding into each other, mist curling into the ridges, the clouds hang low and dramatic. It's like a watercolor painting slowly unfolding. And now we're in Tokyo, a city that never stops reinventing itself. And I'm staying at Hoshinoya Tokyo, considered one of the 50 best hotels in the world. From the outside, it doesn't scream for attention, but look closer. This metal facade, a delicate grid of geometric patterns, is inspired by Japan's Kumiko woodworking. At night, it glows like a lantern, subtle, almost spiritual. You get the sense immediately. This isn't a hotel about checking in and heading out, it's about retreating inward. Inside, you're welcomed like a guest of honor. There's a ceremony to it. Shoes come off immediately. That might sound small, but it's part of a larger philosophy of traditional Japanese ryokan hospitality: humility, cleanliness, and respect for space. Then there's this flower arrangement near the entrance, a gesture of softness and seasonality. This ikebana, the Japanese art of floral design, is about its composition as much as it's about emotion. It's not just decorative, it sets the tone. The staff takes your shoes and stores them in these woven wooden cabinets. The private check-in lounge features walls wrapped in rice paper shoji screens, filtering light softly. You're not meant to look outward, you're meant to arrive inward. At the center of this space is a stage where traditional music performances happen in the evenings. If you're visiting, it's an experience worth making time for. And now let's make our way up to my room. And one thing I love doing when I get into my room, I like to go and just open the sliding doors, open the windows, and just let the light in. So again, with the rice paper screens, the shoji screens are in the room, and I open it, and suddenly you see the facade that you first saw when walking up to the building. It's visible right from within the suite. It's calming to wake up to this layered geometry. The room itself is a minimalist dream: low profile bed, earthy tones, and soft materials. But the bathroom, that's where the romance lives. It's truly encased in glass, but with the press of a button, it fogs over for privacy. And this, a black lacquer soaking tub. I think every city hotel should have one. It's just lovely. After walking for miles, it's a ritual I have to take every time I'm traveling. You see me in the mirror, yes, that's me, and I'm thinking just how lovely it is to slow down and take a bath. There are bamboo accents throughout the room, and again, you'll see the basket weave motif even in the cabinetry. That same weave is used in the shoe lockers downstairs. It's this quiet, continuous narrative carried throughout material. Even though we're in Tokyo, the entire hotel is designed to pull you away from the city and into yourself. This isn't a place to stay the night, it's a place to be still. And yes, I definitely spent an inward journey here. Each floor at Hoshinoya Tokyo has its own private guest lounge, accessible only to those staying on that floor. It's quiet, understated, and fully stocked with complimentary snacks and drinks, all arranged with care. Here I am in my room's kimono, and I'm just trying it on and walking around. You're encouraged to really immerse yourself into that culture. They give you the traditional two-pronged socks, the full yukata. It's more than just attire, it's a shift in pace. I spent a lot of time in this space. There were Japanese rice crackers, a few chewy confectionaries that reminded me of Turkish delights, not quite like it, but something close in texture, dense and rich. And then there were these little chocolate ice cream poppers, so simple, so satisfying. Everything, the filtered water, the coffee, the tea, is available, beautifully presented, and free of charge. It's a small touch, but it made a huge difference. In traditional ryokan culture, common areas like this are an extension of the room. While there are countless luxury hotels in Tokyo, Hoshinoya is one of the only properties that brings the full ryokan experience into a high-rise format right here in the heart of the city. And now I'm on my way to the first site of interest, the Tokyo Imperial Palace. I don't remember the exact name of this area, I believe it's the East Gardens, but what you're looking at are the remaining grounds of what was once Edo Castle, the seat of power for centuries. It's a vast, open landscape, a kind of forested oasis in the middle of the city, framed by deep moats and towering stone walls that feel like they were carved by hand centuries ago. If you watch my Osaka video, you'll recognize the similarities. Osaka Castle have that same network of moats and defensive walls. There's a rhythm to these feudal layouts, and in Tokyo, that history is still palpable even through the quiet, curated gardens. It was raining that day, soft and constant, but in all honesty, it only added to the atmosphere. The mist, the sound of the water, the darkened stone, it made the place feel even more alive. The Tokyo Imperial Palace sits on the site of the former Edo Castle, once home to the Tokugawa shogunate, the rulers of Japan during the Edo period. After the Meiji Restoration, the emperor moved here from Kyoto, making this the symbolic heart of modern Japan. While much of the original castle was lost to fire, the moats, massive stone foundation, and gates remain, reminders of the time when this city was still called Edo. From there we shift, the verticality returns, skyscrapers, steel and glass, and I find myself in Omoando Hills, one of the few places where I finally got to experience the work of one of my favorite architects, Tadao Ando, on this trip. I missed his Chapel of the Wind in Osaka and didn't have time to see the Samayaike Museum, but here in Tokyo, I made it to his retail complex in Omotesando, a project that's somehow serene and monumental at the same time. After wandering in the rain, I stopped for lunch, a bowl of spicy, flavorful ramen. I wish I remembered the name of the place, but honestly, it hit every note, warming, comforting, rich with umami. Sometimes Tokyo feeds you in more ways than one. Back in Omotesando Hills, I admired the architecture again. The way the entire structure ramps upward instead of stacking like a traditional mall. It's experiential. You feel the elevation change as you walk, as if you're moving through a continuous architectural gesture. And now I'm heading to one of my favorite new additions to the Tokyo skyline, Azabudai Hills, designed by none other than Thomas Heatherwick, one of my all-time favorite architects. I was genuinely excited to explore Azabudai Hills. I've always been drawn to curvilinear, organic architecture, especially when it integrates with the landscape. And that's exactly what this is, a city within a city, office towers, residences, retail, all emerging like sculpted hills from the Tokyo ground. But the real reason I came, teamLab Borderless, their latest immersive digital art experience now housed in this visionary new development. I'll let the visuals speak for themselves, but as you watch, remember this isn't just about light and motion, it's about dissolving boundaries between art and space, self and environment. teamLab was founded in Japan in 2001 by a collective of artists, programmers, engineers, CG animators, and architects. Their mission? To explore the relationship between the self and the world through art that dissolves boundaries. But what struck me here wasn't just the technology, it was something spiritual. It feels synthetic, yes. Carefully constructed projections, clever lighting, ambient sound, and yet somehow it touches something deeply human. Like a dream you don't remember until you're suddenly in it. It's otherworldly, like a parallel dimension built for the curious, for those who feel there's more beyond the visible. You walk through water, you walk through light, and in doing so, you walk through yourself. It's as much about presence as it is about wonder. A man made space that somehow taps into the divine, or maybe just the beautifully strange. Even the music, subtle, stirring, it feels like a score to an inner journey. There's no straight path, just a sensation, just color, just feeling. And in the end, maybe that's the point, to remind us that art, even digital art, can still stir the soul. You know, I love sci-fi. I mean, Foundation is one of my favorites. If you haven't seen the series, it's on Apple TV and it's based on the books by Isaac Asimov. He wrote so many different books and it just is a whole world. And then there's Doctor Who, which is another world entirely. I've always loved these shows because they transport you into alien realms, time rifts, other dimensions. Walking through teamLab feels like stepping into one of those places. It's like you're in a slip between time and space, a threshold realm that so many of us creatives, wanderers, and seekers long for, a place that feels strangely like home. And even though what you're seeing is synthetic, projections, sensors, soundscapes, there's something deeper. You feel it. It convinces you that if something this beautiful and immersive can be created by man, then surely there must be something greater out there on another plane. What I love most is that humans have found a way to build experiences like this, to express the spiritual, the infinite, the unexplainable without needing to rely on substances or imagination alone. You can walk through a space like this and actually feel what many would call nirvana or even heaven. And if those places really do exist, I imagine they'd be even more beautiful, more impossible to explain. But for now, this Team Lab is a glimpse, an architectural and artistic attempt to bring the ethereal into our physical world, and I truly, truly love that. Team Lab was massive and left me starving. So, guys, I am now in Azabudai Hills Market, and they have created this specialty market focused entirely on gourmet products and cafe culture. I mean, look at this space. They have fan, vault ceilings, curated shelves, beautifully prepared foods everywhere you look. So I stopped in here and picked up a few a la carte items from the food market, but it's more than a grocery store. It's like a hybrid between a delicatessen and a series of chef-driven food stalls. There's an olive bar, fried seafood, fresh salads. Everything feels premium but approachable. What's interesting is that this is a working market, like people who live in Azabudai Hills, because yes, this is a true luxury district. They shop here. The whole space feels intentional, like the expectation is that good food should just be standard. Then stepping outside at the podium level of Asabudai Hills, it's gardens everywhere you look. And what's wild is you lose track of where the ground level even is. In Tokyo, there are layers to the city: subways, malls, arcades, gardens, bridges. It all stacks and weaves like a labyrinth. Somewhere below is the earth, but who knows where? And yes, Azabudai Hills is home to the tallest building in Japan, the Mory JP Tower. It houses the Janu Hotel, a sister brand to one of the world's most luxurious hospitality brands, Aman. And of course, everything is surrounded by water features, footbridges, and garden paths. You know, I love that Japanese and Balinese garden design. It always captures me: the balance, the silence, the craft. And then into the night, I wanted to chase the cliche, those glowing neon Tokyo moments. So I made my way to Kabukicho. You know, the place the Godzilla head is? That's right. You're walking through what feels like a video game. There's pulsing lights, every sign screaming for your attention, and a full sensory overload. And the architecture, it's wild. At one point, there's a building with Russian onion domes on the facade. Are we in Moscow? No, this is Tokyo. And of course, Godzilla himself, looming from the top of Hotel Gracery. Every hour he lights up, roars, smoke comes out of his mouth, and the whole sidewalk joins in yelling, Godzilla! It's ridiculous and amazing, and it's Tokyo. You just go with it. So what you can actually do in Kabukicho? Well, first of all, it's Tokyo's entertainment district. There's everything here. We have bars, arcades, karaoke joints, pachinko parlors, love hotels, late night food, and people watching for days. You could honestly spend an entire night just drifting from one neon lit moment to the next. But one of my favorite discoveries nearby was Golden Guy. a historic nightlife enclave tucked just behind the neon chaos of Kabukicho. It's a maze of six narrow alleys packed with over 200 tiny bars, some so small they seat only 5 or 6 people. Each bar has its own unique theme: jazz, punk, horror movies, vintage vinyl, and many have been run by the same owners for decades. It feels like stepping into post war Tokyo with dim lighting, wooden facades. It's a great way to experience Tokyo's underground culture in a way that feels personal and authentic. After a drink or two, I made my way into one of the arcades to play some games because, what's a trip to Tokyo without gaming? The noise, the lights, the tactile feedback of it all, it's chaos and it's amazing. But before calling it a night, I went to one of Tokyo's cult dining spots, the Kill Bill restaurant. Yes, the one that inspired the iconic scene in Kill Bill Volume 1. That snow garden, the staircase, the fight choreography. The place is called Gonpachi, and walking in, you instantly feel like you're on the movie set. The food, it's solid, not life-changing, but you really are here for the vibe. Live taiko drums, high energy, pure cinematic fantasy. It's an awesome experience. I highly recommend. And then finally back to the hotel. And listen, after walking over 20,000 steps, I was done. But I saved something truly special for the end of the day. At the very top of Hoshinoya Tokyo is their onsen, a traditional Japanese bathhouse. But this one, it's unlike any other. The rooftop onsen is open to the sky. It has this architectural oculus that lets in the elements. If it rains into the onsen. And it actually did rain when I was soaking up there late at night, which made the whole thing feel surreal, like a scene from a dream. I filmed it the next morning so you could see the sunrise, the water drawn from the mountain springs. It isn't scalding hot, just the perfect calming temperature. It's easily one of the most magical ways to both end your day and begin your next one. Thank you for watching. I'm Quinn Russell, an architectural journalist based in Dubai. This is part of my 10-day travel series in Japan. If you haven't already checked it out, watch my Osaka and Kyoto videos in my Japan playlist. This was my first day in Tokyo, and I've got a few more episodes coming soon, including Korea. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, and follow along. There's so much more to explore.